Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another TRC podcast where we are in a very decorated studio today,
quite nice.
Courtesy of Glenn and Seabass. So, throwing it out there, thank you to you guys. To my right, Levi Gates.
Hey, Dane, what's going on?
Myself, Dane Hennon, and to my left, Anthony Fisher.
Dane, I'm happy to be here at the North Pole. This is
We are
quite
the crew.
nice.
It's the
We
North Pole
are
Garage,
the crew.
apparently.
Yes.
That is actually very creative. Since 1911,
Yeah.
That's
we've been here at the
crazy.
North
Who'd have
Pole.
thought?
What were they doing
Right.
before then?
I think they were
It
in
was like a barn.
It was a barn
Oh.
dominium
Yeah.
that they lived in.
Well, you think about 1911, that's when they started getting some combustion, you know.
Okay.
You know, running a little.
Well, there was a little combustion before.
Using a
this,
little
right?
gas, a little petrol,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Sure.
So it necessitated the creation of a garage.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Well,
I
that's
have
fun.
so upon my arm, I have the visage of
Oh.
Saint Eligius,
Oh my gosh.
patron saint of
Yeah.
blacksmithing, metalworking, garages, and barns.
Oh, I like all those things.
Because he was a blacksmith, he would shoe horses, apparently, and the horses were stabled in the barn,
Okay.
so he'd watch over them. Then, as time grew and passed, Saint Eligius, also known as Saint Eloy, became the patron saint of garages.
Okay, I think
Patron saint of
that's literally
Wow.
all. It's all a bunch of BS. But we're gonna go ahead.
I'm gonna choose.
I have him
to
on my
believe-
arm. It's a
I'm going
real-
to choose to
real-
believe, but then I'm
there's
going to
lots
wonder
of
why
patron
Matt Mormon
saints.
hasn't cashed in on that one yet.
I know.
That is true.
Saint
That
Eloy's
That feels
garage.
like a natural extension of what he does.
Eventually, there
They
will
also
be.
call him Elmo.
There-
Saint Elmo is another one.
Well,
Okay.
okay, but St. Elmo is...
That's the name.
He's got that fire and all,
It's the
you
same.
know.
No, he's the same guy. Saint Elmo. That's Saint Elmo's fires because he was a
Yeah,
blacksmith.
there you go.
All right.
So any housekeeping? Something relevant, perhaps, to people watching.
We do have some housekeeping, Dane. So this week, right, should be an exciting week.
This week is an exciting week.
Because towards the end of this week, right, we're going to have some exciting things.
Exciting things.
Happening, right?
Real exciting.
Some, I guess you could say festive things, right?
Christmassy things.
Christmassy things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys aren't already signed up for the newsletter at theradcompany.com, now would probably be the time to do it. So head there, sign up for the details so you stay in the know on all of the latest and greatest that happens here at theradcompany.com. Now, other than that, though, we have been decorating. We've been going
I just
around
keep looking
and
over
we've
your
been.
shoulder.
I know Glenn did an amazing
Yeah.
job.
She always
I
does
was,
an
I
amazing
was,
job.
I was very surprised. Like literally, the hat meets the edge of the thing there, which
It's
is perfect. So what I was gonna say though is that we've been filming something.
Yes.
And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And Anthony B has been on this nonstop, 24/7.
Literally.
For
I don't think
the
he went home
last
last night. He's still
7
You know what he
days.
did though? He's got his new reversible Dixon coat.
Oh, yes.
Switched it to the other side today.
Very cool.
Okay, gotcha.
Just so it, didn't smell.
Business
Pops.
up front,
Right.
party in the back.
Yeah.
Or party inside.
I will
Party
say
inside.
there are elements of this video that may be disturbing to some.
I don't
I'm
think,
gonna throw that
I'm
out
not going
there.
to say that because I don't think it's going to be
I found
disturbing.
it disturbing.
We're setting
And I'm
ourselves.
not
We're
disturbed
just
by mine.
setting ourselves
None of
up
us have
for,
seen it, but we filmed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I know is there's footage that exists that is disturbing. And
Yeah,
I don't
I mean,
know
typically footage
why
you
it
have
was
to pay
necessary
for.
to shoot so much of that footage, and yet they just said no. We
Some
need
people
this.
might
I
not-
guess you could say there's a lot of footage.
There's a lot of footage.
I can't wait.
Anyway.
I can't wait. It's going to be
Yeah,
good.
so you guys are really gonna like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be great. So we'll probably roll that here around the time of the sale, and then we'll probably roll that out through hopefully maybe the end of the year.
Yeah.
Right. Make the most of it, all that hard work. So other new and exciting things, right? So I know a lot of people have been asking about the new IK sprayers and the
Yes.
new TR minis, right? The 360 sprayers, and just know that those are actually coming very soon. Hopefully very soon.
Hopefully. We're waiting. We're waiting patiently.
We know they're on their way, and we're going to try to do something pretty cool for when those come out. And then on top of...
No,
Dane,
keep going.
Oh, my gosh.
Just keep going.
Okay, and then on top of that, in terms of other new and exciting things, we do still have a couple new products from our side of things, the Rad Company, coming down the pipeline that we are currently waiting on, but I believe everything is on its way right now. It's either on the boat or it's at the port. And I've been talking with Jeff and coordinating on how to launch maybe something special soon. So if you actually went to SEMA and you saw a sneak peek at maybe one of our new items, then that is your hint that might be coming, right?
Yeah, we're very
Which
excited.
Might be
for a lot of
extremely
them.
useful for the kickoff of detailing season. So I think that's all I got for housekeeping. Other than that, I mean, we're just trying to be festive. It is my birthday on Friday.
I know. I'm very excited for your birthday.
And I'm getting older, man.
So I'd like everybody, if you send those stale gummies.
Yes.
Get them cracked. Throw them in a
Throw a
box.
stocking, perhaps.
Like most
that you hang
stocking,
up?
like most.
Actually, just open the bag.
Yes.
You don't have to dump them into just a stocking.
No,
because
because
put them in the bag.
you'll have touched them. Just leave them
Yeah.
in the bag. Just crack it.
Just a little.
Just get a little cut in there.
Okay.
And
most people wouldn't want to consume maybe food from other people or maybe strangers on the
you're
internet.
a big fan of that.
Particularly other people's stockings.
That have a hole in it, right?
Yeah.
But you guys know that I'm all about the still gummy life, and it just makes them more pleasurable. I can chew on them longer.
Yeah.
Just fantastic.
But yeah, if people get those
You're right,
out
Greg, you made me
today,
laugh.
if they get them shipped out today, they could arrive here at the Rag Company, 5430 West State Street, Boise, Idaho 83703.
Okay.
Get those packages shipped.
Yes.
So that Anthony can enjoy some delicious stale gummies.
Yeah.
We got to help a man out. So.
Oh, Dino says, Anthony, happy B in advance. Mine was yesterday.
Hey,
It's nice to know
nice.
another fellow Sagittarius here, in the chat. Weirdly enough, we have birthdays here at the Rag Company all the time. Right? We have our little birthday celebrations where we have cookies and maybe snacks, and then we have everybody pass around a card that they get, and everybody signs the card, which is really cool. It's a very nice touch that we have here. It still makes things feel like a big family. But what's funny is that this month we only had 3 birthdays.
Yeah.
It was Shirlita, me, and Nick.
Yeah, that's it.
Whereas other months there could be up to 6 people, 7 people.
Yeah, that's very strange how that works out.
Yeah, I usually and I try to always. Is it weird that I go, okay, so if their birthday's this month, they were.
You think back 9 months.
Yeah, I go back
Yeah.
9 months. And I go, what was going on around then, right?
You always try and tie it into
was it
some
just
party
a
or a
wild?
holiday
Was
or
it just
something.
a wild Saturday night?
Yeah.
Were they trying? Was it New Year's,
Yeah.
Halloween?
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
It's kind of funny,
Pretty
right?
wild.
And I go Labor Day. That's kind of a weird time,
Yeah.
But hey, whatever you're into.
Or
right?
is it? Okay.
So, all right.
along.
I guess go ahead and jump into weekends, I suppose. And so, Dane, would you like to get us started with your crazy weekend?
Yeah, crazy is not necessarily the word I'd use.
Well,
but
it sounds crazy.
Yeah, no, it was nice. It was lovely. It was pleasant. Not the kind of thing that gets views, but at the same time, it was another just nice break from other reality. And I do have some pictures and video. Unfortunately, I think some of the video's been having an issue transferring. So doing what I can here. But oh wait, I do have
Tony.
to include this, Tony.
Tony
Thank you,
and Bonnie.
Tony, for weighing
You're
in.
getting rowdy.
Crazy about the 4th of July. See, I like that. I think
it's
that's
4th of
funny.
July.
It's honest, and it's just said, yep, that's what it is. 4th of July,
Oh,
man. That's great.
So, yeah, to cut a long story short, I went to go see some holiday light displays, like
Oh.
Christmas trees,
By
Christmas
yourself or
lights.
with Liz?
No, with family. So I had
Oh, with
Liz
your
and I had the
parents?
family, and we all
Did you
checked
take
it
the
out.
flex?
Well,
You had room for
yes,
everybody.
I took everybody in the flex.
very
I'm not
nice.
even joking. We did because
Did
they
you put some air
they
fresheners
wanted
in
to
there
experience
so
it.
it
Yes,
smelled nice?
It smelled nice.
Ooh, I like
whole
that.
thing.
So
But,
what they think of the flex?
Oh, you even took your aunts. That's great.
Yeah,
I love
no,
that.
took
Oh my
the aunts
gosh!
and everybody-
You fit everybody in that one car.
No. They took their Prius, I think.
Okay,
also.
okay.
But it was funny because Kelly, being the off-roader overlander she is, when she realized her Prius was basically out of gas, she's like, "Hold on, I got it." She runs and grabs a giant jerry can and runs out and starts filling up the thing.
That
in
sounds
the
like
front.
Kelly,
It's
yeah.
just like, yep,
Yeah.
that's on brand.
She's
That-
such a
that's-
beast.
So-
I love Kelly.
But it was beautiful. We went to this thing called the Indian Creek Plaza lights display in Caldwell, which,
Holy
I mean,
smokes.
if you
Look
live
at
in
that.
Caldwell, good
Yeah.
for you, but I don't find Caldwell
Yeah,
as
that's
normally
it.
a draw for many things.
Better than Emmett. Dane.
It's definitely better than Emmett. I won't second
Better
guess
than
that.
Emmett, Idaho.
But it was beautiful, and it's actually this whole run along this kind of.
How much did it cost to look at a view upon all that?
It's free. You just walk.
Wow.
Up. Yeah.
So how do they make their money off this exhibit? Though?
Because they have a bunch of vendors around it. So basically, imagine a town square kind of area with a bunch of little shops.
Oh my
selling
gosh, I feel like I'm in
displays and
Italy
things.
looking
I
at
do,
these
look at
photos.
that.
So
Beautiful.
I was very interested to find out. I'd never heard of this particular little creek or river. It's weird. It's like a really
it's
big
called
creek.
Indian Creek.
It's a really big creek or a really small river, depending on
Yeah.
how you look at it.
Yeah.
But apparently, it used to be covered. It
Yeah.
used to be completely underground.
Yeah, they
or
concreted
submerged.
all over
Yeah.
it.
And then they're like, we have this asset. Why are we not using this? So now they revealed it, and it's beautiful actually at night. I have no idea what it looks like in the daytime there, but at night it was lovely. And they decorated a lot, put all those lights everywhere. But it's bigger than it looks. There was like a whole ice skating track, not just an ice skating like rink, but an actual track, like a full, you know, wavy kidney shaped do laps kind of thing. It was cool. It was very cool. So I was just, you know, happy to see people out.
Did you get out there and show them what you could do on them skates?
No, but I did have a kid nearly slice my toes off by running in his skates out on the sidewalk.
Nice.
After he left, I think. So that was a little sketch.
Yeah.
But, you know, kids with blades on their feet, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
So that was an exciting part. But there were a lot of cool little shops to look for decorations and stuff. And, just really enjoyed it. And it made me almost want to go back out there during the daytime. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but actually, I would like to go back and check out more of it.
Statistically safer during the daytime.
30
for the most
it's a
part.
30-minute drive.
It's a decent distance, but it's not that far. All
That's
things
30
considered.
miles, Dane.
It's not bad.
So I'm thinking about going and checking this out. I'm not gonna lie. Seeing those pictures, I'm like, that looks.
It was
pretty nice.
it was beautiful. Now, one thing I will say is, compared to say here in Boise, we have the botanical gardens
winter
with the
garden
lights,
aglow.
and I love that display. That
botanical.
display's the botanical. I said botanical.
Botanical.
But the
No.
botanical
The
gardens.
botanicals.
But the botanical gardens
The botanical.
costs money.
Yes, and it's
like 20 bucks a
bucks.
person.
$20.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
to just
but
wander around and look at lights.
But I will
they have
say-
mini donuts that they serve.
They do, but you
Once
still
you
have
get
to
in the
pay
gate.
for those.
So
They
here's
don't
the
just give them
difference.
to you.
I
You go
will
to-
pay a ridiculous
you go to the
amount.
Caldwell-
It's like for me to take my family, we're talking about $125 evening. Do you think my children are worth that?
You better get the most of it. You better use all their facilities,
No.
and you better go maybe pocket a few of those light bulbs, right?
That's literally what I'd have to do. I'd have
So-
to take some lights with me.
What I'm saying
When I
is,
leave to get
you
my
go to
money's
the
worth.
one in Caldwell. You don't pay for it, but there's lots of.
But I
vendors
have
around
to
you can
buy
things
gas.
from. You have to buy gas as a trade-off. Now, I know
Costs-
anything.
All these things cost money. So what I did was I just put my own Christmas lights on my truck.
Yeah, I saw that.
That
so
way
you
I don't
can
have
take
to
the
worry.
Christmas cheer everywhere you go.
Then I don't have to worry. I
Yeah.
just show the kids if they want to go somewhere. I just turn on the lights.
Ever
and
the
go,
possibility
just go
of a
look
dead
outside.
battery?
Just go look outside, and they're going to be like,
Is it wired straight to your battery?
yes.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, Dane,
Okay.
they're wired through what is called an inverter that is plugged
Christmas
into
lights,
the
yeah.
back of a cigarette lighter that is in the back of the Suburban.
Oh, that's different. I thought you
so I push a button and
it
it
to your...
fires up the inverter, and then it just turns on
Yes.
the Christmas lights.
I too have been camping with an inverter before. That's different
That's
than
just
what I was
Levi's
picturing
idea
you
of a good
doing.
time. So when the kids say we want to go look at Christmas lights, he goes, "How about we go look at my Christmas lights on my truck in different scenarios,
Yeah.
and appreciate it, right?
Maybe-
like
maybe
in
the-
the desert,
Maybe
like
the Jackson's parking lot while
yeah,
I'm
and
getting
the
a
Jackson
soda.
parking lot.
Now, it's
You're-
funny Alex brings this up. Jeff looked a little chilly, Dane. You should probably pick up a Milwaukee heated jacket for your favorite father. Maylee actually had a heated vest that she carried like a little charger
Yeah.
in and stuff. It
That's
was great. I saw so many heated jackets around that place, though. Everybody was walking around with like a glowing badge on a jacket or a...
Milwaukee, baby. Yeah, it's
Flex
pretty
has
cool.
some new
or like
ones.
right
Yes.
Amazon. You can get
Should
some
ask-
off at
should ask
Amazon.
Flex.
But I will say, I saw maybe one or two Milwaukee ones. I saw some others of brands I can't even begin to pronounce. Mm-hmm. They were everywhere, though. Like, this is finally the first time I've been out and actually seen, like, any big number of them out and about. So that was interesting. But in the past, I've seen, like, oddballs here
Dane,
and there. But
you yourself do not need a heated jacket.
I do not. I
You
am
put
my
off-
own
You
heated
put off
jacket.
an immense amount of heat
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
I am
Osmosis.
the heat. So,
well, you could
yeah.
take a pipe and stick it into Dane in the side
I
of
mean,
his coat, in his jacket.
I don't know
vent.
if
It's a
that's-
dryer vent. It's a dryer vent
He's got to
that
walk next to him.
hooks into somebody else.
It's warm. I got a little
just-
hot air coming in here. It's feeling
Yeah.
great.
We're just going to
Dane's
pass
just-
off the excess.
You want to? Well, you design it with like a what's called a
Oh,
P
my
trap
God.
to keep the liquid that comes out too, the moisture.
Well,
It's
yeah,
great.
I got a little bit of condensation
Yeah,
that happens.
right.
to
I
it.
don't want-
Sometimes
yeah.
gotta have a
It's
little.
gotta drain.
Gotta have a drip pan.
Sick. All
Okay,
right, now
so
that we've grossed everybody
barring
out.
that,
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's some options around town that are local that are great, but a botanical does cost you money. But I will say the botanical display
Oh, it's beautiful.
is gorgeous, and I would say Indian Creek.
Acres.
A lot of people kind of talked up Indian Creek before I went there, so I was kind of like, okay, is this going to be greater,
Dane doesn't
lesser,
like when things get
somewhere in
hyped
between?
up.
Yeah, he's
because
not
it
a
makes
hype
him-
man.
Makes him
So
uninterested.
here's the thing. I think the hype may have offset it a little bit, but it didn't totally ruin it for me. Like when I went there, I was like, oh, this is really good. But it's about on par with the botanical gardens. If I were to be honest, I would say the experience was similar, if not slightly lower, but the water took it over the edge. The part for me was the Indian Creek thing looked really big, and as you walk around it, I guess it's pretty sizable.
Yeah.
But all in all, once you walked it, you kind of felt, oh, that's it. Like it just sort of like
Yeah,
one street
but-
block to another street block,
But
and
you
then
got
it's
to
over.
remember the fun factor that happens at the botanical garden is all the hidden rattlesnakes.
Oh well, see the botanical
They're
gardens for me.
resting. You move a rock, you find a sleeping
The appeal of the
rattlesnake.
botanical gardens for me,
It's kind of fun.
elevation
Or
changes. I like
open hot pools of geothermal water.
Those are nice as
Randomly,
well.
that. They have
if you're
delicious
not-
hot cocoa.
If you're not careful and you walk off trail,
Yep.
you could find yourself in a very
Submerged.
wet
So I turn
area.
it to you guys watching right now and gals. If there is a cool event in your area, please share it in the Rag Company discussion group on Facebook when you get a chance. I'm curious to see what displays are in
Yeah,
your
I'll
area.
share a
Please
picture of the
include
Suburban.
pictures.
Yes, it doesn't really work if you don't have pictures, but I'll include like the videos of some funnier things I found when I was out and about there that unfortunately just didn't translate onto the server there. So I'll share that in the group. Don't worry. But beyond that, we got a lot of snow.
Yeah, we did.
This weekend leading into the beginning of this week. I got some pictures of that around
Called
my
a
house.
fire hose
So
storm.
Winter Wonderland, yes. So it was totally
delightful.
snowy
Oh my
outside,
gosh,
just
Dane.
totally
I feel like I'm
white.
in a Nordic
But,
cabin.
It was.
I also
beautiful
feel
out
that
there.
way.
I love this. This is the whole reason I wanted to live up on the hill was I could get this experience when maybe there wasn't as much snow down below. So
So are we gonna- when are we painting that house
Last
black?
winter, Dane wasn't having as good of a time at this house.
Right.
if we
That's right, I remember that
correctly.
last
yes,
winter.
about a month or two from now, go back a year, and I was having a horrible time.
Yeah,
but
you're,
now things are great, and it is beautiful out there. I love it. So
Yeah.
I could go Christmas tree shopping in my own backyard. I just love that. But anyway,
So funny.
Just-
if like Dane's
Shopping
like,
is
Dane's no,
Feels like I got
Dane's-
8 years of trees back
Dane's
there. for right now.
sleeping, and he hears like an electric Milwaukee sawzall,
Yeah.
right? And he looks out there, and it's me and my family chopping down one of his trees. I say, Dane, I hope you don't mind.
Hey,
Right?
buddy, just taking this one.
Yeah, just taking this one. I like that one.
I just wake up and
Yeah,
look
I know,
back
it's
and like,
nice,
hear the
right?
sound of a
Picked a good one.
chainsaw. Oh, people figured it out.
Yeah.
But
You could start.
yeah.
but-
Great Dane's
oh,
tree farm.
God, oh my gosh, Dane could start
Tree
growing
farm.
them.
Oh.
Dane, you've got all that terraced space. You could start
Great-
planting.
great Dane's-
So I had a little pine
Yeah.
tree.
there's
to
no
give 'em out.
HOA. I could run a business
Dane,
out of my
Dane,
house if I wanted
Arbor
to.
Day, you could call the National Forest Service and,
It's
see,
zoned
and be
for
like,
it.
hey, I'm doing like a fun project. Do you have any saplings?
Yeah.
Get some pine saplings and you
Oh
start
my
placing
gosh.
them.
Yeah.
And you could literally just start growing them.
Crazy.
All of a sudden, that whole wall could be trees
what
that you
would we
could
I'm
sell.
just thinking of the liability of a bunch of strangers trying to make it up
No,
my
you cut
driveway in
them.
the
No,
ice.
Dane.
That's fine, Dane.
You don't. They don't need to
Crashing
know.
into my
No,
neighbor's
Dane.
yard.
Slide
You
them
use
down.
it here.
You
You do it here. You build a little pen here.
Oh, so I grow them there, but I bring them
You
down.
cut 'em down.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You cut about 10 down.
So it's not a you cut it kind of
No,
situation.
you cut
Okay.
it. Keep all the liability for yourself.
Yeah, okay,
You cut it,
okay.
guys. Guys, come on up. Me and Jimmy, Anthony, we go up there. Maybe Seabass. We chop down some trees.
I rent a U-Haul,
We get like
throw 'em all
5
in
of
the
them.
back.
No, we get like 5 of them. No, we just put them on top of the flex,
Yeah.
and then we drive back down.
Black-
Bring them
That
down
black
here.
roof is getting so scratched.
We bring him down here. We set him up in between here. You sell them to the employees.
Oh my gosh. Well, that
Yeah.
that just
$30 a tree. That's
Man.
you're saving money. You know
Well,
why?
actually, that's probably
That's pretty the
smartest.
cheapest
I mean,
thing because
everybody's
Take advantage
got
of the
a fake
people that are
almost
closest to you
$100
these days.
Yeah, it's almost
but I don't
$100.
like taking advantage of people at all.
Well,
Here's
Dane.
another thing. You talk your parents into subleasing the trees, and they give them out as Christmas bonuses.
Yeah,
to some of the
that's true.
employees.
You get it. It's wow. It's like one of
So
my
you're
old
getting
jobs where they
paid-
give out like a ham or a turkey to you.
This is better than
exactly.
But
It's
you
like
get
that.
a Christmas tree.
Giving you a
Christmas
Christmas tree,
tree.
saving you $75.
75
I kinda like
bucks,
that.
and you have to deal with all the mess.
All those pine, but it smells so good. You
So,
know it smells.
I'm
so
thinking
good.
we call it Great Dane's Grow House and Tree Farm.
I love trees.
But like,
Okay.
it's kind of like a shifted marijuana logo. Like, it's like a Christmas tree to look. People are like, is he actually? Well, no, but we got your attention, right?
Yeah. So
Rent it out for Christmas. Take it back, Tony.
no.
I love that. Dig up a tree, put it in a pot, run it out for Christmas, take it back and put it back in the ground.
This is my lease program for trees.
Lease trees.
I just put a little transmitter on there to let me know when they're not watering it.
Time to bring it back.
Oh my God.
Dane, the bounty tree hunter. He goes back for his tree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you back, buddy. Just you wait. Okay, so
Dane runs a toboggan race starting from the hill behind his house down the driveway called the Hill Road Express.
dude, if I just remove my fence there, that's my yard too. So you go down that, you could go straight down the driveway. Problem is, there's a busy road at the bottom. So
That's okay.
No,
you
that's
build a ramp.
Okay,
that's
part of
the
excitement.
challenge.
You got to build.
It's kind of a death race
because there's
if
a
you do
neighbor.
that.
Because the neighbor's yard is below the road. So if you get enough speed down that hill and you hit that ramp properly, one, you don't die. Two, catch some pretty sweet air.
Yeah.
I've seen the Red Bull stuff. People do this all the time. We could easily create the same thing.
I just need
sign
to make
a waiver,
like,
liability
a
waiver.
runoff area at the bottom.
Yeah.
Somewhere that people can just
we
crash
could,
into.
and
it's
honestly,
okay.
we could see about blocking off that section of the street for a certain day event.
Yeah,
for a
it's
certain
hard
number of
because
hours.
it's the only road next to it. You would have to go
No,
way around.
it's
That's not true. There's
inconvenient,
multiple.
but
There are
they
many
can use
arteries
roads.
of roads elsewhere.
You got
but,
Catalpa
yeah.
right there.
My
You
neighbors
literally-
wouldn't like that.
No, you literally block it off right before Catalpa. There's a little easy in and out.
Yeah,
They
you can get
you
in.
can block that off, and you go, hey, sorry, foot traffic only up to here. Now it's really blocked off.
Yeah.
We're not letting cars pass, and let's see if we can get it some air into the neighbor's yard. That's all.
Okay. Well,
Maybe we
we'll,
get
we'll
stuck
talk
in a
about
tree.
it. We'll find out if that's a possibility.
So,
but,
maybe
yeah.
if we get maybe a major beverage company to sponsor the event, right?
Exactly.
I don't think that we'll be able to get Red Bull.
We might be able to get Liquid Death.
I'd probably not. Maybe like Celsius or
Yeah.
Celsius.
Celsius.
NOS would
Yeah,
probably
NOS.
sponsor it.
Us probably would.
Dane's gonna get a
Mr.
fit.
Plow. All
fit
right.
away to the-
So,
yeah.
yeah, that's going to be a thing. Anyway, that's pretty much my weekend. I don't really have any other notable
grow
things
house opening.
other
So,
than playing games with these
Sap
guys.
tapping.
Doing some, sap tapping.
house coat.
Flowy house coat. Why do you imagine I have a flowy
I can't
house
wait till
coat? I mean, you're not
yeah.
wrong, but why do you imagine that?
This is gonna be great.
Oh, God.
It's just Dane out on his hillock on like a blizzardy day, but like all he has is his flappy coat on as he's like
Crocs.
planting. So instead
Crocs and bathrobe.
Instead of reaching up for a light bulb,
Yeah.
he's now reaching down to
To undo a
trees.
plant bulb.
Planting
Okay.
some trees.
So anyway, that's pretty much my weekend.
Have you ever
I hope
thought
y'all
about?
enjoyed.
So another question.
Yeah.
Have you thought about just going to a Home Depot, buying a number of different seed types,
Yes.
like all kinds of stuff?
Yeah.
Right. Open them up, put them in a bowl, just pour them all in there, mix it up.
Yeah.
Randomness, flowers, pumpkins, brush.
Just go nuts in the backyard and see
but
what
all
happens.
like wildflowers.
Yeah.
And just huck it.
Yeah.
Like handfuls, just.
There's a
see
part
what-
of me that would kind of
and
like to see what would
grows,
happen. Yeah.
and then don't do anything.
Well, apparently,
Just leave it. And
my
go,
dad,
damn, those flowers are kicking ass.
My dad is-
No, those pumpkins are growing awesome.
You know he's a bit of a
No,
green
it's-
thumb,
No,
but-
it will. Dane already has a problem with things overgrowing, right?
You're a nerd.
I forgot about
and
that.
lack of maintenance,
sudden there's
right?
a wall of
it's
pumpkins.
it's lack
I like
of
low
maintenance,
maintenance.
and neglect that comes with that. So what will happen is he'll do this crazy
It's a lot of
idea of
yard,
yours,
man.
and his backyard will literally start like the ivy will start taking over his house.
it's a lot of yard with a grade that looks something like this. So yeah,
That's what I'm
it's
saying. I just think
it's a
it'd be
bit
kinda fun.
much. But I like the idea. My dad pointed out I have some kind of like weird, rare lotus or lily thing in my
course he
backyard.
did.
Of course he
which,
did.
Yeah, he noticed that.
He probably,
but he
like,
was looking over and he
rubbed
saw
it
the
and
he saw the
smelled
leaves
it.
and he's like, "Holy cow! Do you have a whatever the name of it is?" And he's just like, "Wait, if that's right, that should be blooming in a few weeks." Sure enough, a few weeks later, this gorgeous flower comes out of it that I had no idea was there, and just like, "What the?" And he's just like, "Yep, there it is. Yeah, that's the one." And then
You should dig
it's
that
just
up
like a
and give
whole
it to him
little
for Christmas.
Yeah.
yeah.
You could do
Be
it.
like,
I'm
"Here,
sure.
because
There's,
I'm gonna
there's
kill this.
random wild
Here you
things
go."
growing out there, so yeah, you never quite.
Ooh, I know what you do. Here's another thing, Dane.
Yeah.
Turn it on for your dad. Now that he's got the new place, he doesn't have the land anymore
Right.
to tend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You open it up and you go, hey, get him a little certificate and give him a section, draw it out on a little map.
Call it Jeff's patch.
This is Jeff's patch. You go, here it is. You put it in a Christmas card.
Oh,
and you go,
no.
here's the a little patch of land.
Yeah.
Pops.
And you write it over to him.
You can
gift
do
him that
whatever
piece
you
of
want to
land.
do on this little piece of land. If you want to put a fountain in, if you want to put some,
That's what he's going to do with the
lovely
little tiny courtyard
And
thing
then
that got out
he
in
can
front of
just-
the front door.
Yeah.
okay, that's very small. I'm talking about gifting him quite possibly.
It's like a 6
like-
by 10.
Yeah, you'd be giving him like a 10 by 12.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be
mean,
pretty nice.
Pretty nice on a hillside.
He's going to build a little fountain in there. But yeah,
Okay.
I can give him,
Well, I'm
give him a
just-
space. on
Never
the
mind.
hill.
I thought it was just a
If he
great
wants
idea. I
it.
know his little courtyard's very small though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
But
might-
I think
he
he
might
wants that
yearn
now.
and
He doesn't
crave
want the extra
for
work
more.
of it.
So
he misses it, but he doesn't
I think
want the extra
I want
work.
to turn Dane's because
Yes.
Dane's backyard has that like kind
Or-
of he has like that ridge that kind of goes around to the
Yeah.
other side,
Well, it's
which
kinda
is
terraced.
which is more unusable
Very-
land
very
on the
terraced.
left side of the
Right.
house, right?
Yeah, that's a
Over
whole
there.
ridge.
That's what
too.
I'm thinking. That
I'm
was what I was
thinking
thinking
about turning that into a trap shooting.
I was gonna say, that's a
where
good place.
It's a
Yeah,
clay
firing
pigeon.
range. Yeah, it's a firing range.
There's no neighbors that direction. It's just a giant
Yeah,
field
you
after
shoot it
that
right
on a
into the
hillside.
mountain.
So
You just shoot it right into the
that way.
mountain.
You're not hurting anybody.
So you got people in the grow house slash tree farm.
This is
you got
starting to
Jeff's
feel
patch,
really sketchy.
And you have Anthony's clay pigeon and Wingstop, right?
Oh,
it's
no.
express wings, right?
Express wings.
it's
So you
not-
got to drive up the driveway to get there.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because I make the wings in my garage, but I transport them for easy buying. The
Very
clay pigeon
far
spot.
drive.
Duly noted. So anyway, how was your weekend, Levi?
My weekend was basic.
Okay.
I literally didn't do anything. That's the thing. Like,
Didn't even like go look at something.
No, Dane,
or-
I literally didn't have a car this weekend. I took this weekend to spend the weekend in pajamas.
That's okay. That can be
Literally
very nice
what
sometimes.
I did. So Carly and I I didn't have anything. So we took Saturday, dropped the kids off at my mother-in-law's for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We did some Christmas shopping for them. We went to Walmart. We got some groceries. Did that kind of stuff. I got me some new pajama pants.
Did
for
you?
myself some house?
Oh, yeah.
I call them house pants.
House pants.
because they need to be nice enough that I can wear out to like the grocery store and not be
I was
full
gonna say
on
go to the
pajama.
mailbox.
What color
or
are these
something.
house
Just
pants?
gray.
So
I called
there's-
you.
well, I know there's this whole
called
thing
you
with
when I
gray
was getting-
There's a whole
Sweatpants.
meme about
Yeah. So-
guys with gray sweatpants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told Anthony my reasons. I told him when we
it's
were talking.
exactly what you think of there. The
Yeah.
reasons
Yeah.
are.
I literally said why I bought these ones,
Yeah.
and told him on the phone because I had to find the right pair,
It's find
always
the right
the gray
GSM,
ones.
the right GSM. They're
And the-
very soft,
and the way it
I also
lays,
I need to know
like,
how it
on the
lays
body,
and how
yeah.
it drapes. That's
Yep,
that's
that's
the
ex-
biggest thing about them.
It's male yoga pants.
So that's what I did. So the ladies at Walmart were a little confused when I kept taking different pairs over to the dressing room, and
Nope,
trying
still
it
not
on.
quite right.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please wear underwear?
Please stop, sir. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, but I got the pair I needed.
Okay.
Put them on when I got home. Quite comfortable. Very
Yeah.
excited for them.
Yep.
And then, but we literally just hung out. So we finished up, kind of picking up the house, getting it cleaned up. I did a lot of dishes this weekend.
Okay.
Made a lot of meals, pretty much every meal for the family this weekend. And then I needed to decorate the truck. So was talking to Anthony on Saturday, and the Suburban just hadn't been washed in a while.
Yeah.
And it was getting cold. It was warm, but it was cold enough. And
There's that mild period.
it was right at a spot, and I was lazy enough that I was like, I don't want to bust all my stuff out.
yeah.
But I also don't want to do an O&R wash right now.
Did
So I
you
went up
drive
to I went up to the
tunnel?
car wash.
Okay.
I went up to a car wash that I actually enjoy looking at. I
Interesting.
like looking at it because I like dreaming that someday it'll be mine.
It would be yours. Okay. Yeah. Which one?
It's up on Federal Way,
Ooh, way up
next
on
to the
Federal Way.
Maverick.
What point? Not that anybody cares about this.
So
but I'm curious because I think I know
Amity and Federal Way.
Amity. Okay.
It's right before you go up the hill to Gowan.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's on the left-hand side. It's a street light, and then right up the street is Motive Power. It's right across from there.
Does
or
this
the
place have a name?
It's a like something southeast car wash or something
okay.
simple. But it's right next to the mill, right next to the Maverick on Amity and Federal Way.
Okay.
So cruised up there. Noticed that it was a little filthy, a little dirty.
Oh.
So I found a spot, pulled in, put $2 in, hosed off the truck
Yeah.
right while I was on the phone with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anthony
Sure.
said, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Because we're on that pressure washer. So I just used their spot-free water and
I wish the spot-free
washed
water had more pressure.
So I used high pressure first.
Yeah.
Pressure washed the Suburban, got all the gunk and filth and dirt and sand off of it. Then I used low pressure water, the spot-free, rinsed the truck off with that. Then I hopped in the truck and I drove around, and by that time there was like 5 cars in their automatic bay. And I thought, nah. So I went back down the hill to the stinker station. Nobody in line.
Yeah.
Pulled the truck in to there, paid for their best $6 wash,
Yeah.
sat in the truck, let it wash the Suburban for
Was
me.
it touchless or a brush?
No, it was a brush. It beat the snot out of the truck.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very aggressive.
Yeah. Metal was hitting up against it.
It's very aggressive.
Yeah.
But pulled out, made it back to my house as it's like a block away. Drove back to the house, pulled into the driveway, grabbed some creatures, some bead maker, and I walked around and dried the Suburban, just spraying some bead maker on everything and drying it all off.
Yeah.
Got the Suburban looking great. Wheels, all that stuff was like, sweet, looks good.
Yeah.
Then pulled Carly's car out, pulled my car in the garage, closed the door. Augie, I opened the sunroof for him. He stood on the center console, popped himself through the sunroof.
Sure, yeah.
And then me and him strung garland and Christmas lights around the Z71 roof rack
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
on the
The
Suburban.
Z71 roof rack is obviously the best choice for that.
Perfect.
I remember when we pulled that from a junkyard.
Bird. Yeah. It was
That was a good
call.
day when we got that sucker.
Yeah.
You were lucky to find that.
That was a
Chuck.
good day.
Yeah. It's crazy how easy it was to find that and how hard it was at the same time.
Yeah.
But we got everything done, got it all hooked up, turned on the lights, tested it, made sure it worked. Was pretty stoked. Proceeded to then pull it out. And then our storm hit. And it rained like crazy
Yeah.
It did.
for
Dumped.
all day Saturday or Sunday,
Yeah.
which really was frustrating. But turned to snow, same thing, just an easy, chill weekend. We also got the kids started on Star Wars. So we sat them down on
original
Saturday night, and we started with New Hope.
Yes.
Watched that. They did really good.
New Hope. What's New Hope?
Episode
That's
4.
That's the original movie.
They called it New Hope?
It's called A New Hope.
It was called The New Hope after they decided they were going to make sequels. Originally, it was
Star
just
Wars,
called Star Wars, and then they
A
called it
New
A New
Hope.
Hope.
No,
It was just called
it's always
Star
been,
Wars.
It was Star Wars.
Star Wars,
And then when
the
it
original.
opens,
In 1977, when it
no,
came
when it
out,
opens in the yellow thing, it says Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yes,
it always
because
has said that.
it's
that had never been
serialized.
I
changed.
have never seen it say Episode
Always.
4 on
Always.
the very first Star Wars.
As soon as it starts,
I thought it started with in the beginning.
George
Nope.
Lucas did some revisions later,
No,
but
that-
the
but
point
that
is
was always
that
there.
was
Okay,
always
I
there.
remember in 1977 when I saw that movie in the theater.
Sure you did.
Okay.
Listen,
Sure you
I
did.
am from the same town George Lucas
Yeah.
is from,
Yes,
right?
Yeah, but you
so
guys think
I know he
differently.
didn't call it A New Hope. I know he called
Yeah.
it just Star
No,
Wars
it
original.
literally said.
He got picked on in high school. Do you know that?
Yeah, I do.
By like
Why
a
you're
lot of
surprised
people.
by this?
So I'm an
No.
older Star Wars nerd than you
My
have
friend's
ever
dad picked on him.
been. Yeah,
He was
I don't
older.
doubt that.
oh no,
Yeah.
But
He
I'm
was
an
like, yeah,
older
George
Star
Lucas
Wars
guy was
nerd
a
than
nerd.
you.
I know,
he
but
can't write dialogue to save his
So-
life, but his stories are at least fun.
yeah. So,
Anyway, point is, we
Yeah,
started the
yeah.
kids
Anyways.
on Episode 4, A New Hope.
okay.
Then we started Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, on Sunday.
The best movie.
Last night, they wanted to watch one, but by the time Augie finished eating his dinner, because he takes forever, it was too late to start the movie and do baths and bedtime. So
No Return of the
I
Jedi.
said, we
then.
can't start Return of the Jedi tonight. We'll try it
So
again
what
tomorrow.
did they think of the production quality as children that have grown up
Well,
in?
Well,
But
it's
if you're
totally
watching
remastered. It's on
Yeah, I was
Disney
gonna say,
Plus.
if you're watching the remaster one versus the absolutely
I will say
original
the-
77
I will
one,
say
the
the,
effects got tweaked a little bit.
I will say the 96.
Well, no, the special edition ones they did in 96, 97 were another thing.
no, that
prefer the
so
one that was in black and white.
so what's on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
is the fully digital remastered.
And it's pretty
Right.
good.
It's
with
very good
with the
It-
added scenes.
with the added 1996 adjusted scenes. I will say though the 1996 graphics are the thing that let it down the most
yeah,
because they're very poor.
Yeah.
It is
But
funny
they
to
enhanced
watch.
some other parts in the movie that
They
are more
enhanced,
subtle.
They did, and they did a good job.
Where the
with them.
original looked pretty cheap, and they fixed some of those little
Yes.
things, which I appreciated. But the added scenes in the special editions, I always
Yeah.
thought were kind of.
I think it was the sounds in like the first two, which I was like the audio wasn't bad, but you can definitely tell. I'm like, this is old. This is definitely has this weird like old echoey audio feel. I don't know how to describe it.
No, they did. They redid all that.
They
so
redid
it's
all that?
good.
Okay.
So it's good, and they're great. And so we watched those two. The kids loved them. Last night we watched the first episode of The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah, they haven't seen The Mandalorian.
They
have.
haven't seen it at all.
Okay, yeah,
They
Okay,
have. They just haven't seen it in 2 years.
Okay.
Okay.
So we restarted
Refresh.
episode 1 of Mandalorian. They watched it, they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We forgot about all this stuff. And so we watched that last night. So tonight we'll probably start up Return of the Jedi again.
Nice.
And then what we'll probably do is, Carly and I were talking about it, we might have them watch.
Andor.
No, because then we have to go backwards.
Andor again.
We have to go backwards because Andor takes place before episode 4.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
And that requires Rogue One and some other
Rogue
stuff.
One is before episode 4. So
Gotcha.
we got to do Andor then Rogue One. Anyway,
So
that's where we're at. So it was fun. It
Yeah.
was a good weekend, easy weekend, chill weekend. Point was, I got some. I literally just chilled out in my pajamas for the first time, and it was nice.
good.
It was like I literally laid on the couch, tried not to do anything.
yeah.
So
I have a
Just let it all hang loose.
let it all hang loose, let it drape nicely.
Yeah.
You know,
Seeing as they're watching those movies, they've never seen Return of the Jedi, right?
no,
So they're not aware of Ewoks.
they are aware of.
They're
Ewoks.
aware of them. Okay.
So you forget, because of me being a very large Star Wars nerd as a child, when I had children,
Yes.
as soon as I procured them,
Procured your children. Okay.
we started them into a healthy diet of children's Star Wars.
I remember the little Ewok cartoons
they make
made.
no,
and
they make a
other
lot
stuff.
of books.
Well, there's books.
They
too.
make a lot of those golden
Extended Universe books.
They make a lot of golden books. That I think they need to start making golden books on Fast and Furious.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
Because I think that would be great. I think that would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
But they made golden books on every episode of Star Wars.
Okay.
And so we've gotten those, and they've read those. So they've read them and grown up with the stories as children. And when we got these little collectible things called Zoom Zooms from Disney,
Zooms.
they made different characters. And we got all the Star Wars characters, and we got all the normal Disney characters, and they would play with these little stuffed eggs, basically, is what they look like.
Interesting.
That are characters. So my children have a knowledge of who these characters are.
Okay.
They just never sat down and actually watched the movie.
They just don't necessarily have the context yet.
Yeah, but Augie, after the first movie, before he went to bed, went and grabbed the little golden book
Oh, okay.
so he could read it, because now he had reference of the movie and he could read it again.
So when he watches it, he can appreciate it because he understands it better.
Now he understands it better. But I'm serious. The Fast and Furious Golden Books is a thing that needs to be done.
That is just money sitting on the table.
That is
right
money
there.
sitting on the table.
So when are you going to get the kids started on the Superior movie trilogy?
So I've started
Lord
them
of
on
the Rings.
So we've
I thought
talked
you were gonna
about
go
that.
for the prequels.
You talked about that?
Carly and I have talked about
I
that.
was going to say
I thought you were going to say the prequels, which was going to crack me up.
no.
No, but we've talked about that as well.
Lord of the Rings needs to happen.
It needs
soon.
to happen, but it's. I know the level of my children's nightmares,
Yeah.
and
There's a
it's-
few moments in there that would.
There's a few moments
definitely-
where I'm like, not yet.
When
Yeah.
Bilbo freaks out on him, that would scare the
It's
ever loving.
my kids would be like, turn it off. We're not watching it
Yeah,
anymore.
that freaked me out the first time
Yeah.
I saw that in the theater. I
Yeah.
just about.
Well, remember, Dane, I was a 21-year-old person in the theater.
Yeah.
So
Those eyes, man, those eyes.
So you being
Can't forget
11
those
in the
eyes.
theater going, oh, geez, like I can't even imagine. I can't fathom the terror.
No, but there's nothing better than telling the kids we're going to the Shire, and they
I
go,
know.
"We're watching, yeah, and we're watching Lord of the Rings. Yeah, we're watching Lord of the Rings, and you get them started on it. I mean,
I'm very excited to
because
get them started on it.
the movies are amazing, right? The series, I never even started it because it kind of looked like trash.
But it's
Honestly,
actually
it
not
was
bad.
like it was mid to good at times.
Yeah.
It was not bad.
It wasn't bad.
It was better than I think some people give it credit for,
Yeah.
but it did feel a little middling at times.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it was. I would say there were less scary moments in that than there were in the movies, though,
Yeah.
for kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was my weekend.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Pat Welsh says happy birthday to you. Thank you very
Yes.
much. I will have a great day. on Friday. I'll be coming into
Middle
work
aisles
and
at Kmart.
it's going to be a good time. Grant Honcher says, as Levi gets older, he gets to the point of not using changing rooms and changing parts in the middle of the aisle at Kmart.
That's not how you spell aisles, in this case.
Yeah. Well,
you're talking about islands when you spell it like that.
So, I guess I'll jump into my weekend. So, this weekend was all about...
Kids definitely love She-Lo.
No, God,
Yeah, no. Augie already is terrified as
No,
spiders.
I grew up watching that friggin' cartoon from the 70s of,
I'm sorry
The
you had to
Hobbit.
deal with that?
It was the animation. It taught me what good and bad animation looked like, and that one is painful, but interesting anyway.
Okay. Okay. All right. So my weekend was all about detailing. That's all I did this weekend.
That's a good
Literally
weekend.
Didn't even have a weekend.
Yeah.
But
All
the
I was
people
doing
who are
was
into
detailing.
details,
It's like
I
you
wanna
and I
hear
flipped
the
weekends.
Specifics.
Yeah, we flipped weekends for once. Okay, specifics. So long story short, this is the car that I have been coordinating with this owner for like 7 months, right? I talked about before where I polished his Hawkeye STI. He has a 2006 Hawkeye STI, Subaru STI. And he is in the process of essentially making the ultimate best OEM plus better than ours STI.
Yeah. What's
He
his game
is a
plan?
huge
He wants
fan
to
of-
be the very best.
Yeah, he is a huge fan of our series, watched the full thing. He came to me after watching everything because he didn't know if we would actually detail his car here, and we kind of told him it's not really what we do here, but we film content. So he just asked me if I'd be willing to take it on, and so he wanted everything done that was in the series, of our Subaru build done on his car. So he has a pretty big list, right, of things that he wanted to. And so I built him this checklist, essentially, of everything that needed to be done and the order it needed to be done with paint work and if it's going to the shop, if it's getting things done on it, to basically to reduce the amount of people touching it in the process of, or reducing damage in the process of this car getting better. So last time I talked about it was I had given it a full-on two-step correction before it went in to go get paint work done to establish what should get painted and what shouldn't get painted because we wanted to see what was able to come back and what wasn't able to. And basically, the car turned out great at that time, but there was still just a lot of things that would never come out. He had a couple egg marks on it that chipped the paint. He wanted those fixed. He had a couple spots of slight clear coat failure, but he had a lot of chips on it. He had a lot of scratches on it. And a lot of just other random imperfections. And so it ended up actually going in for almost a full repaint. I mean, everything minus the driver front door and the driver rear door was repainted.
Wow.
So the entire car. And so after he got it painted, he had some more work done in the engine bay and everything like that. I want to say he's got like $100,000 into this car. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
It's an STI. That's what's so crazy.
It's a Hawkeye STI.
There's a ceiling at this point to how much someone's willing to pay for one of those if you were to ever resell it in this case. But I don't think he's concerned about
He's not. He doesn't care about resale at all whatsoever. This is what he's wanting to do really for himself. I mean, was his dream car. He had one when he was younger, and he wanted to do it again. Now that he has more money to be able to do it right. And I think it puts down like 450 wheel horsepower, which is like a little underwhelming considering how much is into it. But I think that's just what you can do with a Subaru. I mean, I think power-wise,
your head gaskets at a certain point.
You're kind of limited there on a lot of those engines, even with the amount of money you put into it. So, but it's so quick. Don't get me wrong, things freaking fast. But back to what I was saying though. So he ended up getting almost a full repaint on it, and since then we have just been letting it off gas. So for the last a little over 3 months. We've been letting it set up and off gas properly before I go in and do another full correction on it before it goes in for PPF, because he is very anxious to get this car done because he's been working on it for 9 months now, and he just wants to be able to go and use this car how he wants to use it, whether he wants to use it or just look at it.
So he wants to make it perfect, but he does intend to drive it.
I believe so, and so but he just wants it done. I mean, he just I get it, right? You get anxious when you have something for so long, and you just want to go out and drive it, right? But Anyway, so he brought it over this weekend, and we were planning this day forever. I mean, forever and ever and ever. And so, like, it's one of those, like, you want to cleanse yourself before going in for,
you got to prepare your body for this.
For Anthony's special spa treatment that he's about to give
It's
your
like
vehicle.
the clean room in a laboratory.
So it was really funny. He brought it over, and we're talking, and he's like, and he threw out the option of, or threw out the question of, Anthony, would you ever sell your Evo? He wants both of them. He wants an Evo and he wants an STI.
He wants the pair.
And he's like, I want that one because it's super clean. He's like, what would your price actually be, right? And I go, I don't know. I don't even know what I'd replace that car with, right? Like, there's really nothing I want that bad.
It was your dream car when you were that age.
And he starts throwing out some numbers, which I don't know if he was, like, serious about, but throwing out some numbers that, like, literally I was like, oh my God, like, that's a lot of money. He's like, well, I'm just curious, like, what would be, what would you sell it for? And I'm like, I don't know. I'll have to let you know. And he told me
beyond bring a trailer.
He just told me, he's like, if you ever sell it, if you ever decide to, let me know.
Price is like $24,000.
Yeah, she's like 20. You can take
Katie's
it.
price is like $8,000. She's like, come pick this thing up, right? I mean,
it just sits there. Come on,
she's like, what?
it.
You didn't have $10,000 before, now you do. What's the problem?
Yeah, but we could do so much more if he just.
Yeah. Anyway, so he dropped it off. We talked about that for a little while. Then it got me thinking during the day, like, what the heck?
You're really thinking
what the
about
heck
it,
else would I replace
His goal
this with?
was to put that shelobe in your head.
I'm not thinking about it. I'll never do it. I don't think I would ever do it, but it was an interesting proposal.
Everybody has a number.
So what ended up happening was
it's the latest line in the current Jack Reacher novel that I'm listening to. Yeah. Everybody's got a price.
So we had snow and we had rain, right? He did drive it over to my house, and it did get quite a bit of grit on it from driving in the wet weather. And I was like kind of hesitant because I'm like, I don't want to break out the pressure washer because I think that my hose is literally frozen. And I think I'm going to be shooting out chunks of ice before I can actually get anything out.
That's great.
But I said in the meantime, I'll start on the interior. So I went through on the interior, did a full detail. I mean, I didn't take out the seats like I did on ours. There's no reason to. It wasn't that bad. But I did go through with literally toothpicks on every single crack and crevice to remove grime and things and pick things out of corners. And it was a lot of toothpickery, a lot of cleaning, a lot of brush work, and steamed the vents and steamed all that stuff. And interior turned out amazing, though. I mean, he was really happy. He really wanted his OEM floor mats to turn out like as new as possible, and they pretty much did. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say, because some people are interested in this stuff, I talked about how I insulated my garage last weekend. Last weekend, 2 weekends ago. And this was the first real test of seeing how well it's going to be able to hold in heat.
With your Mr. Heater.
I purchased a new garage heater, right? Not an actual garage heater like it hangs from your ceiling and it's wired to like 240 or anything.
Yeah, just a thing that sits on top of a propane tank.
I got a propane tank top heater, right? But the previous one I had was a Harbor Freight
special,
like just the little round, dish heater, right? That goes on top of your propane tank. Very small, probably 10,000 BTU, right?
Mm-hmm. Parabolic heater.
But it can run for 40 hours or something crazy. And I was thinking to myself, I go, okay, well, that kind of works, but what if I got a more improved propane top heater? I already have my little carbon monoxide detector in there. I can still crack the garage.
Got your weather station.
I got my weather station. I want to see what I could really do. So I did a lot of research. So if you're interested, listen up. Did a lot of research. I went like hours. 5-6 hours on the best propane heaters.
Does Katie know that you spent 5 to 6 hours on this?
No, probably not. But I spent a ridiculous amount of time. And
it's helping your family.
I came to the conclusion that there is one particular model of a propane top heater called the Mr. Heater 540.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
It is, I don't know how to describe it. It's a rounded 360-degree head that basically just mounts vertically, that basically releases heat in a 360-degree angle, or you can tilt it to basically angle the heat that you would want at like a maybe 45-degree angle, pointing upward. And I did a lot of research, read a lot of the reviews, and people were like, the reviews are insane. People are like holy mother of God, this is like the best heater I've ever used. So I thought to myself, it's $80.
Yeah,
let's
I'm
try
pulling
it
it up to share in the comments right now. So go ahead and keep talking.
Dane, I'm gonna have to send you my affiliate link. So just kidding. No. But I order it. It's $80. It got there. I had fired it up for that Saturday. I literally can't believe it. I
Kept it
can't.
nice and warm.
No, I can't believe how freaking powerful that. It's the most powerful propane top heater I've ever felt in my entire life. Like, it's powerful in the sense that like it puts out a ridiculous amount of heat. However, it doesn't feel like so powerful where it potentially feels dangerous, right? Even with like 9-foot ceilings. But I turned that thing on low. I started with a garage that was 50 degrees. And I don't know. I ran it for 30 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then I also had my little electric heater, right? I got it up to 70 degrees inside there. And I was like, oh, man, like, this is crazy. Because it held the heat perfectly, didn't drop the heat at all whatsoever. Actually jumped up to like 71 with a little electric one. And I just couldn't believe it. I probably could have kept it going, right? But I said, no, this is the same temperature as it is in my house. And so the insulation helped. I didn't have to turn the propane heater on again throughout the rest of the day. It stayed 70. I think it dipped down to like 65 in there. And I was like, sure.
bad.
I was already working. I was like, this is great. So, yeah, Mr. Heater 540. If you're looking for a propane heater, that thing will literally heat probably an entire house. So I did interior during the day. And then after that, I jumped into, actually, I did the interior first. It took me quite some time. Then I ran to the store, grabbed more distilled water for the steamer, and by that time I called Levi and I said, "Dude, it's like 45 degrees outside." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm at the car wash right now." And I said, "I'm gonna go back home and I'm going to rinse it and foam it and do everything because it's warm."
It was
enough.
as warm as it could be, but I was in that same position where you were, where it was like,
it's kind of you're on the edge. Like, do I do it? Do I not do it? And I just
should I?
said, screw it, man. It's either I'm dealing with a bunch of grit and just the pressure of an O&R sprayer or an absolute sprayer, or I'm rinsing it. So I did a full rinse and did all that and then foamed it. Then he came by and brought me a air mover as a Christmas gift, right, to get some of that air moving around. And he brought me a ton of beers, right?
Nice.
And so, yeah, long story short, that day, I think the first day, it was interior, pretty crazy, rinsed it, washed it.
Good
Do you have to be
question.
careful how close you have the heater? Not at all. I had that.
You're not on
be,
it.
Be mindful. Like, don't put it like 2 feet away from it. Like, I basically kept about a 3-foot gap from everything, and that was fine.
you just put it. You can put it in the center of your garage.
Yeah, you can put it in the center of your garage.
Don't drop a plastic bag on top of it.
Yeah,
or
don't like have it
paper or
right
something,
on
but-
your car. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think 3 feet. 2 feet. I mean,
It's not
you're
gonna
probably
melt the
fine.
paint off
I
your
had it
car
right
or
next to my
anything.
motorcycles, and I was feeling my bikes to say, "Are these getting hot?" No, they were fine.
Well, you're Mr. Paranoid, so if you weren't bothered by
And
it,
then
most people would.
I even got up on a ladder to fill my 9-foot ceilings to make sure that those weren't getting too hot, like I wasn't cooking them, right?
Yeah. Well,
and,
Grant's family's up there.
And
Yeah, we got to be mindful.
gotta
of
be careful.
probably
Grant's
a little
family
heat.
living.
But I felt up
You're
there.
probably
No,
sweating.
it is totally safe.
Yeah.
It's propane. So have yourself a carbon monoxide detector, and
Most
then maybe
important
crack your garage every once in a while just to get a little bit of fresh air in, and you'll be fine, right? And if you don't, you'll just fall asleep and you won't know.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Ay.
By the end of the night, I had washed it on the exterior. I had deconned it, and then I had to pull the wheels off. I got it all up on jack stands, and then I did a full wheel well clean and dress with solution finishes over the top. And then I went through and then coated the calipers and it coated the wheels in and out, barrels and faces.
Nice.
And used my little fancy wheel stand from Harbor Freight there. But went through and everything was coated essentially on the wheel wells with the wheels and the calipers. And then I
Were
treated
those
everything else.
Wheels repainted too.
Yeah, those were gloss black.
Okay.
And then I knocked out the engine bay. So the engine bay was actually, I actually did it all within that one freaking day. That was crazy. So the engine bay turned out insane. That was
Well, that engine bay is insane. There's a lot
the engine
going
bay is
on in
insane, but like it had dust on it, had a bunch of other stuff from the body shop, so I cleaned everything up. And for that, I steamed it. I used Green Star. I used a lot of brushes, and then Motorplast. And Motorplast really kind of took it over the top. So I was really happy about it. Yeah, that was it. And then Saturday morning, Saturday night I was dead. I literally was like, I went inside and I was exhausted. I was so tired. And then Sunday morning I woke up and I jumped straight into it. And for that day was polishing. So started with polishing the door cups. Then I polished the door jambs. And then I polished the exterior. And it took me, I can't remember how much time it took me, but it took me a long time. And I think all in all, by the time I finished at 8 p.m., in a day and a half, I had put 22 to 23 hours into it.
Wow.
And so
I hope you got paid for the time and work that you did.
Oh, I did. So. Yeah, no, I did. And then he showed up with more beer and a cheesecake for me.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, this is great, right? I love working for this guy.
Well, what a customer.
And what was really cool, I mean, it was super bougie, man. He had a trailer come pick up the car. It literally rolled out from my garage into a trailer, and the trailer went off to go get it.
I saw the video. It looked like he was cabling it in.
Yeah, he had winched it in.
Oh, man.
And then he took it off to get PPF, and that was it. Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
must be nice.
That's an ideal customer,
I
right
mean,
there.
watching it, being pulled into the trailer, I was like, oh, this feels pretty classy, right?
Yeah.
And for a Subaru, yeah, I mean, if it was a Ferrari, I'd be like, I get it, or if it was like something crazy, but I'm like, it's an STI.
No, this is a very attainable car for a lot of people.
It was pretty cool though, and
wow.
But it turned out amazing. I was super happy about it. So I still have to go back and code over it. So it's getting PPF right now. I'll be going back here probably by the end of this week to go do a. Can I tell them that I'm doing that? What I'm going to put on it, or am I not certified to be able to tell people that?
Can if you want. You're gonna coat it.
Yeah, I'm going to coat it with something from
Really
Diamond Protect, really strong, the strongest one.
Yeah.
They've heard of 120.
They're smart. But, they know. Tony's right here.
Yeah, so I'll be coding over the PPF, and it'll be great. Carbon monoxide is a byproduct of incomplete combustion. Propane burns hot and clean. Just an FYI. I think carbon monoxide, right? That's a lack of oxygen, right? It replaces. It's like an oxygen replacement.
Yeah, but you can have a leak in a propane that can also create.
Well, I think it's when you eliminate all of your oxygen, right? Because it utilizes oxygen.
Yeah, you burn it all off. Yeah.
You're utilizing oxygen, and it also is releasing a little bit of humidity. But propane is a clean burning fuel. I think that most people are very weary about running it in a garage when it's closed.
Well, it's an enclosed space.
You want to have some ventilation.
Like, I would never run a propane tank in like a bedroom and go to sleep. I would never do that, right? But like in a garage, if I'm moving around and it's not perfectly sealed, I mean, there's still gaps in the garage and whatnot, I feel more comfortable doing that.
Otherwise, just use a ceramic space heater, a plug-in thing. It uses a lot of power. But
ceramic space heaters are crap.
I'm saying for the bedroom situation.
Oh, for the bedroom, yes.
Like
for the bedroom, yeah.
If you're in a dire straits and you got to use something that's not central air or something, then use that.
Anyways, highly recommend that heater. It literally saved my butt on this detail. I would have been extremely cold without it. And yeah, highly recommend. So that was pretty much it. Busy weekend. It was just I'm still kind of tired and dead from that.
Makes sense.
So my back hurts.
Yeah.
I was moving different ways. Yeah. You know when you're doing things like you're on the ground polishing a side skirt and you're like, I can't bend like this, and you go,
you're like, my body doesn't move this way,
and you go, but I'm doing it anyway, right? I'm reaching this.
Yeah, and you're just sore.
But it turned out really good, man. Nice. I'm pretty happy about it.
Okay.
Well, there you go. That's it. Dane, take us home.
That's it. All right, guys. Well, you know the drill. If you haven't already, please click like right below this video. It helps us out. It helps you out, so we can reach more people and keep this show going. And if you haven't left an iTunes review for us lately and you feel like you just got that Christmas spirit and you got to say something nice, please
I like that.
Go out there, leave us a 5-star review if you feel so inclined, and write a little note to us. We read those, so we'll check it out. Otherwise, that's it. Make sure you're subscribed. And we got Q&A Thursday coming up later this week, on Thursday, obviously, at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the main Rag Company channel, so you can look forward to that next. All right, guys, have a great week. We'll see you then.
See ya.